Oops. Hello, this is Rebirth the Legend here with another replay analysis. We'll be checking out, where's his name? Laurel Pausini will be playing in Anti-Mage this game. So the main complaints here are, what do you do when you're in a really difficult lane? Oh boy, I'm sorry, state, feeling a little lethargic. Let me just refer back to the thread itself. Alright, what do you do when you take a really heavy harass early lane on Anti-Mage? You had a match where he had 6 last hits in 5 minutes as AM against a Clinks and a Bounty Hunter. So that is kind of annoying. Either one of them is manageable in a 1v1 situation. Your first problem is picking Anti-Mage into this. AM is not... It's not ideal against the Clinks, and it's definitely not good against the Tiny. You can't man-fight a Tiny on Anti-Mage. And you already... I guess he could offlane, he might be jungle. This isn't a good dual lane. Like, you don't want to take an Anti-Mage with an Omni, because you can't handle a Clinks at all. Like, there's no one to trade her hits with them. And they do have an Omni, so that's kind of okay. But, like, you have heals from him, so, like... I could see how you could lose it if you're not playing it correctly, but, like, you should be able to get creeps, I'd say. But, like, just looking at this, I don't know what their last hero is gonna, or the next hero is gonna be, because you're gonna last pick for your team. Yeah, this is not ideal. This guy can follow you around. You kind of low HP jungle a lot, so we're gonna stop and talk about this. So you picked an Anti-Mage into these 4 heroes. Venge, not a big deal. Whatever. Swap's not really a problem for you. The single stun isn't very long duration. Okay, let's see what you got going for you. They've got 2 stuns so far. It's just a Venge stun and a Tiny stun. It's not very long. It's only 2.5 seconds of lockdown. So keeping that in mind, you don't man fight either of the, well, you don't man fight a Tiny well, and Clink's gonna be a real problem if he gets out of control early. Or you're behind, one or the other, or both. If he gets out of control at your expense, that's a huge problem. But they don't have a lot of stuns, so as long as you don't like really fuck up, you'll be okay. One thing that makes this a little better is you do have, conceptually, you'll have the Omni Repel, so you'd be able to man fight the Tiny because you'd have a Repel. But I still wouldn't be the hugest fan of this. But let's see what their last pick's gonna be. So here, what do we got? I'd imagine these 2 are the supports, so you can have a roaming, I would assume a roaming Bounty, support Venge, and either a safe lane Clinks or a safe lane Tiny right now. Pick the PA. Okay, so what I would think would happen here is they probably have, they could put the Tiny mid, PA Venge safe lane for them, and then I would think this guy would be roaming and he would be off lane. Which is shitty. He's not a good offlaner, but you know, invis equal invincibility and all that. So let's look at our things. Like, you should anticipate either being against a Clinks or maybe a dual lane. I doubt they'd try lane. That would be kind of silly. It wouldn't be the dumbest thing because you guys have this fucking retard, but it's definitely not good. Also, you took this. You don't need to take that yet. That's a waste. If you're anticipating a lot of harass, 2 things you can do. 1, Clinks deals a lot of physical damage. He's got searing arrows. And this adds to his base damage. So it's extra 30 damage. So he basically hits for 70, which is pretty fucking strong. For an Agi hero, your armor is very low. It's only like, I think it's like 12% resist, somewhere in that area. It can be worth getting a Ring of Protection and eventually building a Bassi. You could start with that. Personally, I prefer 8 Tangos over a Salve. It's more regen. That's burst heal, but like, if you look at this, they don't do a significant amount of burst damage unless you're against the Tiny. Besides that, the Clinks is just going to harass you. 8 Tangos is better. So what I advise doing, dropping the Slippers right now, getting 4 more Tangos, or a Ring of Protection. Either one. The Ring of Protection will just cover your complete mana cost right now, or mana cost, yeah, your complete, what? Something's wrong. Oh, no, because I get 8, okay, that's why. 8 Tangos, Stout, and Ring of Protection is a possible opening. but like this isn't terrible. Like I don't want to say this is terrible, but like this doesn't let you deal with like if you're expecting a huge amount of harass. It's like a poor man's shield rush. It's okay. Another thing, you shouldn't skill this immediately. Depending on your lane, mana break's better. Since you're against the Clinks, it probably doesn't matter either way, honestly. But it's something you should keep in mind. Cool, you managed to snipe that. That's a free poor man shield. This is great. So you're going to be able to get a poor man shield before the lane even starts. You should walk over and buy it right now. That's fine too. The first thing you do when you get to lane should be to walk over and buy the shield. You see it's a 2. So now, here's where you're regretting this. This was greedy on your part. You try getting the block, which isn't the worst thing. But you had time where you could have walked over and finished your poor man shield, which is a fair amount different. It's a fairly big difference. This is also where you need to be creeping. This is going to be your easiest time to creep before he's got more levels of searing arrows, and this guy's a ripping pain in the ass. What did he skill? So he's got Zindas. Oh, you got a Riki up here with you. It's kind of... So like, that's kind of annoying. I would just tell the Riki to leave me and roam. Okay, you can't miss free creeps. You should be using a Tango right now. Okay, that's a screw up right there too. You're tanking way too much fucking damage. So when you're in a situation like this, you can't let him stand still and just take pot shots at you. You have to walk up. You stand back here and you walk up to last hit. Ultimately, what other people talked about was aggroing. I'm actually gonna try and talk about this right now and show you. Okay, so what aggro tricks are? Can I make a box? I can't make a fucking box. We'll slow the game down to a crawl. Okay, so what aggro tricks are is you use the game's inbuilt aggro mechanics. So what draws the creeps aggro? See, this is bad. Are they targeting you? I think they're targeting you there, so you're getting beat up. Yeah, they're definitely targeting you. You must have right-clicked one of them, because those creeps got pissed and started attacking you. So you just got tank battles. Anyway, so you have to understand creep aggro. Anytime you attack an enemy hero within 500 range of a creep, they will automatically start trying to attack you, okay? And when they do that, you obviously take damage. Having a poor man's shield would have been nice there, blocks a little more damage, not the end of the world. So this is about 500 range. About, maybe a little less, maybe like that. That's probably about 500 range. So what you want to do in a situation like this guy just obliterated you. This was so stupid on your part. You can't take that much damage for like literally nothing. You didn't even get a creep yet, and you, oh sorry you didn't, I was looking at the wrong thing. So you got obliterated just now. You still don't have your poor man shield, so that was stupid. Back to aggro. So within 500 range, you attack a hero. So let's say you're an anti-mage, and let's just pretend this is creep equilibrium right now. Well, let's even go back. We'll just find a better example. Okay. So this is the creep wave right now. You want to set up that creep for like a last hit. So what you do is you stand right about here. You force attack click the bounty hunter or the Clinks. Doesn't matter where they are. They could be in this lane. You could force attack click this tiny. And the creeps, and as long as you're within 500 range of the creeps, they'll aggro. They'll stop whatever they were doing, and they'll come over and try and attack you. And you use this to pull them towards you. So for 3 seconds, they'll stay aggroed on you. So you pull them wherever you want, towards you, away from your enemy. It makes it harder for them to deny, and it makes it so you can last hit them within... you can last hit them without having to worry about that denial, or whatever it is. You can also use something like that to offset if you have like double range creeps. You can aggro them away from your range creeps, so the range creep will have to stop and then like reset up, and that can give you the time to get a last hit through double range creeps. But that's getting a little too mechanical. This is clearly a low level game, so we want to focus on a little more basic stuff. But that is like, what the fuck? Oh, okay, never mind. It's the Riki. That's an ugly AM set, by the way. You should feel proper shame. Okay, that is just screwed up. I got Riki's items, AM's portrait, Necrophos's portrait. It's kind of weird. Is all his items? All in the Fromdilla. So let's go back to this now. So you need to use those tricks when required. Let's talk about where you screw up right here, though. Well, I actually have to watch your mouse movement here. Player perspective, anti-mage, back up. Okay, I think you just clicked him right there. Oh no, that was too early. We're watching the mouse. So you walk up, you just see like that creep dies and the range creeps start hitting you and he starts hitting you. Like range creeps fucking hurt. You can't do that. Like you shouldn't be in an area where you can get attacked by everything when there's no like gain for doing so. Like you just pissed away your salve and a tango right now on absolutely nothing. And now you can't walk up right now. Like, you have to salve. Wait, did you just overlap your tangos too? I think you overlapped your tangos. He's gonna shoot you. Okay, you wasted a quarter of a duration of a tango, which is like 100, about 40 health, 30 health or so. And like you just need to salve up here. You can't waste your time tangoing here. Because one tangos aren't gonna bring you to full health. Like the reason you have a salve is before when you're like missing more than 400 health, you can use it, which is great. That's kind of awkward. You have to like see. Come on, that's just weak. Like you have to see when you can get the last hits off. Like that one was hard. So like let's look at this. I'll try and explain like the mentality behind creeping. You need to auto that creep already. You had to hope for the damage that maybe it ended up on your side. That one was hard. You had to try and set up on it. This one, your friend's dead. You can't save him. Why are you backing away? Like that's a free creep right there. So you've got one creep in like 3 creep waves now. It's really bad. Like this is just your laning mechanics that are poor. Like this is something that's really important. Like AM's lanes can be contested pretty easily, and like you need to know this for any. Like AM can win 1v1 matchups against a lot of heroes, but you have to know how to manipulate the creep equilibrium, and you're not doing that at all. So that's a huge fucking problem. You also have to know how to last it. You had to take that. You like canceled an auto attack there, but you need one auto attack to set up for the tower. So you need to go in a bot game and figure this out too. Like that's even like go in a bot game, make a support for yourself and pull, and practice like last hitting under tower or something, or lane against a friend. Like have a friend play a game as like I don't know, like a Tide or something, or even a Clinks, and like try 1v1ing a Clinks who's being played by an actual person, and just see how it goes. This one you should know you need to auto that. Yeah, you missed it again. You gotta. That one's close. You had to be there ready to hit that. You could have gotten that one. That's another one you could have gotten. So you pissed away through all your regen, and you've gotten 2 creeps for it. You pissed through 250 gold of regen. Well, not all of it yet. It's basically gone. And got like 200 gold for it. It's horrible. Did that guy not die? Wow, I thought he died before. He did not die. You have to walk up to get that last step. I see, he's an idiot. He walked up to harass you there and took a tower shot. You had to see that coming and just walk away. So here's where you need to... Okay, I think you... I don't know if you did it on purpose, but you were using aggro there. That's kind of annoying. It walked back, and I think you were trying to bait it towards you, at which point you would have gotten the last tip, but it walked away. See, like, here's the thing about a Clinks. You have to control a Clinks. Like, let's look at his mana. He's got 85 mana. I don't think he's used this yet, meaning, like, every single one of his searing arrows has been to, like, harass you or damage the Riki. Like, that's all it's been for. So what you want to do, which is kind of a little more difficult because there's a bounty, you want to play up on this guy. You might want to hold your Riki to buy just like a fucking oof. I guess he's going to fight you for creeps. I mean, you're creeping poorly, so I can't really blame him too much, but... sorry, so... You have to, like, think of the Clinks like a Wind Ranger if you're off-lane against them. You have to force them to use their mana. In a 2v2 situation, it's a little more awkward. But, like, what your Riki can do is go on him with an Oob and force the invis. And, like, you can blink forward on him when he does that. And, like, your mana break swipes are taking away his ability to harass you because it's removing his mana that he needs to orb walk you with his searing arrows. So it's taking away a huge amount of harass by taking away from his HP pool. Just something you really have to think about. Like, you have to understand what you need to do in lanes to win. Losing all your HP and all your regen early was not what you need to do. And like I can't even tell you like, oh, starting with regen would have solved this. Like, no, dude, you just played the laning stage like shit. Like, that's your problem right now. So now you have the poor man's shield and the Quelling Blade, but at this point you should know you need more regen too. Like, I want to say that got delivered on the courier. I could be wrong. You might have went to the side shop for it. Let's find out. Okay, it looks like I'm wrong about that. No, I'm right. I'm right. Okay, that thing, I guess you didn't have the money for it at the time. But it needed to... You needed to bring more regen too. It's awkward. Like, you have to be careful about taking the courier from your Razor, who's not getting a bottle, so it doesn't matter. That's something you have to keep in mind. So you didn't get more regen here, but you didn't have money at the time. Like, that's the thing. Like, your last hitting is so piss poor that I'd say, like, you need the Quelling. But here's where you need to know aggro tricks. Like, here's where you pull that creep towards you and you get that last hit. But you're not going to get it. Because now you're scared shitless and you don't know how to pull them towards you. You trying to get this last hit, like, look at this. You're taking so many free hits here for no reason. There's no reason to take those hits. You have to, like, you have to walk up and be calculated about what you're trying to do. You can't, like, take all this damage. Like, if I'm taking damage like that, I'm getting, like, 2 last hits. Which is equivalent to, like, 3 tangos. Not that I want to take 3 tangos, I want to trade efficiently. But, like, you're in such trouble right now. Honestly, Yuriki's an idiot. He should just be stacking and pulling for you. That way you can creep under tower. You guys get more experience. Like, him being here is also a problem. Like, I know it's a low-level game. Clearly you're both new players. But, you should try and tell this guy to just pull or leave your lane. Like, him sitting here is not helping you at all. It's taking your experience, which hurts your ability to lane, jungle, and do everything. Like, if you're not getting farm, you at least need to be getting experience, and he's ensuring that you're getting neither. So you're gonna deny in this game? 6 denies. 6 denies on their team, not yours. Let's look at how we recover. I think we've already beat this enough. Like, just to recap, you need to work on your mechanics. You need to not get harassed for no reason. You're probably gonna die here, actually. Now you make it. Here, just... I don't know, go back to base, get a tango in the south. Like, you can... You should have known this was gonna happen, too.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Man, you might
Like, I guess you could say you can't do too much about that, but... I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Yeah, I think your blink was up. You could have blinked into the tree line if you thought he was coming for you. Now finally, okay, here's where you're under pressure. You've performed so poorly in this lane that at 6 minutes you have 3 creeps. Please tell me this is wrong. This is not wrong. You guys have collectively gotten 5 creeps in your lane in 6 minutes. This is retarded. This lane was not that hard, and like your incompetence just ruined the lane for you. And I don't mean, sorry, that sounds more insulting than I meant it to. Like, I just mean like you don't know how to play the lane, and you just got beat on for it. Like, if you improve laning mechanics is a huge part of what makes people good and bad. Like, when I go into a low-level game, if I'm like smurfing or something, like, I see people with bad laning mechanics, and it's just free kills all the time, or a free lane, like, completely free. And there's, like, nothing, like, just because they don't know how to control the creep wave, they don't know how to deal with harass, they don't know how to do anything. Like, I've gone against tri-lanes as, like, a Spectre and won. I've 1v1 to Quap and won the lane. Like, in terms of, like, what my, or 1v1 to Quap on a Spectre, and I won the lane in terms of what I had to get from it. Like, you have to understand those things. Like, they're fundamental aspects that good players understand. But, like, here, okay, you're walking too far away. There's nothing to threaten you here. Why are you walking away from these creeps? Like, there's too much movement here. Attack that. You walked away. Like, that last hit was set up for you. All you had to do was stand near it. Like, why are you trying to, like, act like a professional boxer? Like, I don't understand this. I think that ward might block your camp, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it. I think the box is here. I'm pretty sure that tree marks the box. I think it's like this. So I think you actually did miss it. This ward's worthless though. Like, anytime someone puts this down, I'm like, thanks, you're a piece of shit. And the reason I say you're a piece of shit for that ward is because you can't see this tiny coming. Hold on. Player perspective, Anti-mage, let's back up. Tiny is orange. Oh, he came from... Okay, he came from the right, which is retarded, may I add. I want that to be known, that that direction that Tiny came in is stupid. It should have been from the lane. If it came from the lane, you don't know. That ward is stupid. You need to have... God damn it. Free camera. You can place a ward here, and it's going to show people TPing in, which is really important. You can place a ward here, or here, which will show people ganking you this way, which can be kind of important. Usually you want one ward, and I'll take this ward. I only have one. Like, you placed your own ward here. This one's stupid. This one's really... This is like a ward you place if you're the offlaner and you want to see if people are trying to wrap around on you. It's just... It's really bad. Okay, so he's fighting you for creeps now. Don't even engage this fucking guy. Like, you could just... It's kind of tough. I would just go into the jungle, honestly. Rather than... Like, it's really hard to fight a Riki for creeps because of his fucking backstab damage. Makes his, like, shit really intense. Stop committing on this. You're going to get yourself killed. Okay, let's back it up. That thing hits really hard. That thing hits really hard and goes invisible. Like, why are you even trying that? All you did just now is feeder clinks. This is really dumb. Don't overcommit on stuff. Like, let's think about what we're gonna sacrifice for this pitiful attempt at getting a kill. One, you have like half your HP left. Okay, you have your full HP right now. You mana break him, it does nothing. You try and auto him, leave. That's 3 creeps right there that are free. I just pointed, not like you could see that. It's 3 creeps that are free and a whole nother creep wave because this Clinks has to go back to base. Instead you fee and you don't get that creep wave. Like, I'd rather you just ignore them. Like, you can't play over aggressive, you're super far behind. It's like Clinks have boots, the Clinks has treads, you couldn't catch him in it, he just walks away from you because you only have 1 level in Blink. Which is fine, this skill build is perfect. You should be doing this and like stats until you have a Battle Fury, pretty much. Oh my god, it's just like really poor. I'll speed it up again. So we have, I'm forgetting a death. The Clink's death here was stupid, and that death was stupid. I don't know where your third death came from. I glossed over it, I guess. Am I forgetting it? I don't know. Whatever. You're sitting on doing nothing. You're in recovery mode right now. What recovery mode means is you farm as fast as humanly possible. That means you don't wait for these creeps to get in range. You auto them down. Like, whatever your creeps are attacking, you attack a different creep until something's ready to be lasted. 2 people here, leave. Go into the... You have a ring of health and a poor man shield. You just farm now, baby. You go into the woods and you farm. Like, go farm your easy camp. You're just sitting here doing nothing. This is a waste of time. Anti-mage... Okay, we're gonna go a little tired here. Anti-mage is about farming as efficiently as you fucking can. Particularly in the first 20 or so minutes of the game. And it's about getting as many creeps as you humanly fucking can. And if you do that, you'll win a ton of games. Like, if you know how to do it, if you know what that means and you know how to do it, you'll win tons of games just by being efficient in that window. Now, there are situations where you sacrifice creeps for pressure, but like, even if you just ignore those situations and just hard creep, you can get to like the 20-minute mark with like 250 creeps, like, easily. But like, this isn't it. Like, I'll have difficult lanes like this. As soon as I have these items, which your tread should be next, you shouldn't be Battle Fury rushing. You will just kill it anyway. I'll just kill it anyway. Like, I'll have lanes like this. I'll never have something this bad. Sorry, when I say lanes this bad, I mean I'll have a difficult lane where people are like rotating constantly, and it's a difficult lane to begin with, and I'll still leave the lane with like close to 40 creeps, which isn't good. Like, I want to end my laning phase with like 80 plus creeps. 40, whatever. You need to be farming this camp, going deeper in, and you just ignore them. Like, they have to pressure this tower or they're wasting their time. Like, you can't have your 2 supports, a bounty and a Avenge, just sitting here doing nothing. You just traded tons of HP for like no creeps. You're missing creeps again. You're missing creeps again. Or missed another creep. Okay, we got one. Like, there's no... You're creeping under a tower on an anti-mage with a Quelling Blade and a poor man shield. You hit so fucking hard, there's like no excuse to miss any of those creeps. Like, shit happens. Like, I'm actually really... bad at last hitting somehow. It used to be my strongest aspect, but I'm pretty like bad at it. But my laning mechanics are so good, and my understanding of his strengths are so good that I can compensate for that very well. If I improved my ability to like last hit, I'd probably be a lot better. But I am nowhere near this. And what I mean by that is just like it's something you have to improve on, and like everything else will take you so far, but you have to like understand what you can do. There's another person, you don't want to trade with her. Why are you sitting here? Leave. Go into the jungle. You jungle very well. Oh, you're about to get killed by a tiny swap. There it is. That's like not paying attention on the map either. This is like low-level pub, so no one has wards up. You can even buy your own wards if you want. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to you buying 2 obs right now, placing one here and one here, and just farming the woods. Like, you can just go farm the woods now, and it's totally fine. Like, you're not getting anything from this lane at all. Well, sorry, you're not getting anywhere near enough. Ignore them. Let the Riki come here. Let them get experience. Jungle. This is stupid. You can't be sitting here. It's so bad. Like, it's better you go... Like, one, you're sharing this experience with 3 people. This is dumb. You could be getting your solo experience and just creeping here. Like, you have an eye on the PA, you see 3 middle, you know no one's in the woods looking for you. And this guy is just getting a Desolator. Like, he's not even getting an Orchid. You don't even have to be scared of the Clinks. Like, what's scary about the Clinks on an AM... Oh my god, he's not leveling his Death Pact. This is, like, so... I don't understand, like, the level players. Like, they can apply enough thought power to figure out that sometimes not skilling your ult or skilling in a non-obvious way can be smart, but then they make stupid decisions like not to skill your Death Pact, which is a free heal on Clings. Like, how does this even occur to you not to skill this? This is just crazy to me. This is crazy. Like, you'll see stuff like that all the time, and I like, it always blows my mind. Like, to me, like, logically, like, if I was new to the game, I'm like, okay, I hit 6, I'll get my ult. I hit 11, I'll get my ult again. Like, someone like TA, where it's just like, you can get your ult at 6, but you don't want to get it at 11 because your other skills are better, and your ult doesn't scale well. Spectre's like another hero, kind of, where her level 1 and 2 ult, there's not a huge difference. So, like, as a new player, I wouldn't really think, like, oh, I can forego skilling my ult here, and it makes more sense, because my other skills are better. Like, people apply that at, like, a low level, but don't skill, like, a Clink's ult. That's ridiculous. It's like not skilling coup de grace or something, or grow. Well, there's some people who don't skill grow until, like 10, 11, because they want more of this, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong to do a lot of the time anyway. I don't even think people do it a lot. Like this, a lot of people think max the nuke, and Wave of Terror is better, but he chose to max this first. Like, that's kind of weird. Whatever, we're getting, oh my god, they're getting 2 Desos. Their support Venge. Whatever. Anyway, back to you. You're the primary person we're judging. So this is good. Like, I want to stress, like, this is smart itemization. And your skill build is mostly correct so far. I'm assuming you're not going to keep leveling stats after you max this blink, which I think is wrong. But teach their own. So, okay, so because he doesn't have an Orchid, like, he doesn't have a way to kill you. Like, you're super far behind, but you have the mechanics to catch up as an anti-mage. If you just execute correctly. Man, that's upsetting. Oh, okay. I know the problem here. We're gonna go back and talk about the jungling efficiency. So that was kind of good. So, like, if you're like low HP jungling or you need a regen, what you do... You didn't back up far enough. So you can aggro this and fight it here. So what'll happen is the creeps will start walking back. And as they're walking, you just move, attack, move, attack, move, attack. So you take less attacks from the creeps. Something similar can be done here. Well, not even. This is just choke point jungling. You chop this tree and you sit here, and only one creep's going to hit you at a time. You can do the same thing for this camp, where you pull it up to about here, and you fight the creeps. Like, that's also how you kill stacks before you have a Battle Fury. So you back up so you're not getting attacked by all the creeps at once. Because they have this thing where about every 5 seconds they try and walk back to the camp. So you abuse that. The time that they're trying to walk back, you get free hits on them. So that'll let you low HP jungle. Like, you have to learn those tricks, particularly when you're behind. This is good. You should max here. You should max your blink, and then you just level stats. You get so many levels of stats because this guy's all physical damage. So all you need is stats and armor. And Vlad's is still great because you know they're getting Desos. Or Yoshi's getting a death, so you should if you click it, but I don't know if you did, I haven't seen you click it. But this is good, so you push this and you should be blinking right back into the woods to farm. You should see it's 18 minutes, you know you have a minute to clear out this whole jungle. You should at least be able to get 4 camps. Actually get the whole jungle because your wave is pushed. You don't necessarily want to farm that far up. You see the tiny bit. The tiny is probably honestly the biggest threat. The tiny and like the Clink sneaking up on you, or the tiny and the bounty sneaking up on you, are the biggest threats. If you can see the tiny on the map, then you're safe. No one else can kill you, as long as you have like blink and might even be worth having a TP. Because like one blink into like a TP should be enough for you to escape. Actually, you have level 4 blink, so you can even just blink away. It doesn't matter. But like at this point in the game, you shouldn't die again. I'm like, your team isn't that far behind, so you guys shit on top. Like it's 18 to 12. You guys got 1 tower, they've got 2. It's not the worst. And I guess you could say they beat you late game, but like I would think I stand a reasonable chance. Like they don't have control for you. Like, that's the biggest thing your team is doing. They don't have control for you.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You need to do that. Okay, this is stupid. One, you're sitting here this whole time. You have time to click him and check his out. Okay, I think you did. If you're trying to communicate someone to TP in here, you click him. Like, the clink systems.
Not my problem, but Dire's top tower.
Okay, his mana is not at 0. You just need to run there. Like you should know this too. This is another stupid death. One. Okay, we're gonna look over this whole thing that's about to happen is really poor. So you're farming here. You see the Clinks go on that tower. I don't blame you for looking for this kill. I would also look for this kill. He's targeting down the tower. You can blink on him now. Do not wait until the tower is dead to go on it. Now you don't have vision. And he goes invis and walks away. So that kill is possible while the tower is alive. And once the tower is gone, you clicked him. And you know he has enough mana to go invis. So once the tower is dead, he can go invis and walk away. So you're trading HP for like an almost 0 kill potential. Because yeah, he'd have to let you hit him 5 times. Was it 24 level 1? 28. 28 level 1. You'd have to hit him about 5 times. I guess it would be 5. Because 4 I don't think would do it. Yeah, 200 mana. You'd have to hit him 5 times for him not to be able to activate that Ghost Walk. It's not realistic. It's not realistic at all. And you ulted him for no reason. So you sacrificed your mana, which you need for blinking. Sacrificed your health and missed him. You also stared at him for about, I'd say it was like 5-6 seconds, which you could have used to blink back and farm more camps. So waste. You could have even, if like hypothetically this whole jungle was cleared out, then it would be fine to wait there because you're just going to go farm this, because presumably he leaves after killing that tower. But like, that didn't happen. That was just stupid. You can't do shit like that. Like this is, like I said, this is the time you need to be farming and catching up. Like you know you're far behind. Your team is keeping their shit together. You should be proud of them. They're doing God's work over here. Should not have her fucking 1 level. Okay. So you need to be catching up right now, not dying 1v1 to a Clinks who should realistically have no kill potential unless he finds you at 200 HP. Like that's the only way that Clinks should be able to kill you. Speed this back up. Blink forward, farm out this camp, I like it. Or farm out that creep wave. You prioritize the creep wave, so this is good. That's good, you don't miss a creep. I didn't hear the sounds, I didn't see it, but I think you missed like 3 creeps in that way, which is a problem. Could be wrong on that. So here, if you know they're on Roshan right now, I think that's where your Razor died, then you need to push this. Cool, you see him and you leave. Okay, this is bad. There's no reason for you to be leveling your mana break right now. As I said, you need to be leveling stats so you can survive this Clinks trying to kill you. You should have your Battle Fury now, you need to be ordering that. So you want to get stats. So here's the general rule of thumb. I didn't discuss it because you were doing the correct build until this point. You go 1-1-1 stats, or 3 levels in stats, and then max your blink. You can wait to max your blink to time with your Battle Fury, but there's nothing wrong with leveling your blink so you have it maxed by level 11, and then you can also skill your ult to 11. You should skill your ult every time it's available on AM. It's really, really important to have. It changes the game. Maybe not so much in this. No one here really has a nice HP pool, or a nice mana pool, but actually the Tiny does. He blows through his mana and doesn't regen it too well. So yeah, he could be someone worth blowing up. Anyway, so you always skill this whenever possible. You have 111 max this by level 11, and then you level stats until your Manta's almost finished. You want to kind of time your mana break being maxed with your Manta being finished. You are nowhere close to your Manta because you should be getting a Vlad's this game. They didn't go for the Orchids, so there's no reason you should be dying, let alone 0-5. Like the first 2 deaths were stupid. That last death was stupid, and there's one death I can't account for. Right, just run like the Dickens. Should start building a Vlad's here.
Dire's bottom tower's under attack.
Okay. See, what I would like to see in here is you could have went in, like, you're going to be able to regen just by being in a creep wave. You didn't have to go back to base there. They ganked you here, you retreated that way, you could have farmed this camp, you could have farmed these ancients, you could have pushed that wave. Farming creep waves will net you, like, a fair amount of regen. It looks like you're building a Yasha. Vlad's is, unless one of these people has a Vlad's. What the fuck is he building? Okay, yeah, Vlad's is the item. No one on your team has a Vlad's. They have huge armor down from the Venge and the Desos that they have built for fun, which has a Shadow Blade. So 5 extra armor is really useful to have. I know this game goes for a while too. Like, you have plenty of opportunities not to throw this game and you throw it. So like, your team kept you in this when you threw the laning phase, and then you continued to never actually do what you had to do. Let's see what you skill next. You should just be getting stats. Like, their team has, like, I guess their only magical damage is really like Tiny Toss, Shuri, and her stun. It's not really that significant. It might be worth leveling. Like, okay, yeah, you're just skilling it now. Like, stats is so important for your ability to push faster, jungle more, and everything. And particularly for, like, you're missing 4 levels of stats right now, which is 8 Agi, which is an additional armor, like 140 HP or so. Okay, what do we do here? We totally overcommitted. Like, your job is just to live and split push here. We're gonna do something dumb. Yeah, this was stupid. What the fuck was that? Okay, you could have lived here. One, you do this dumb fucking Billy Blink over here. It's like 2 micron blink. She swaps herself in. You could have killed her. If you were paying attention, does she have mana? She has mana, dude. You could have just shredded her. She swapped. Who did she swap out? She swaps the Razor? She fucking saves the Riki. Here you can just leave. It's totally fine to leave. Like, you don't have to kill this tower. You could have blinked back there and lived. Instead you blinked forward and died. I guess it's a panic blink. I don't know if you were going for a kill. You're an anti-mage. You never want to trade your life for a kill. Another good thing about a Vlad's is, like, you were kind of, well, I guess you were low on HP and mana, but if you were ever low on HP but you have, like, an okay mana pool, like enough for, like, a few blinks, like 3-4 blinks, just like 180, 240 mana, then you can just go back to farming, because Vlad's lets you regen very quickly. So that situation would have been awkward. Like, Vlad's, you're gonna get a Vlad's in 98% of games, unless there's someone like a Storm or a Clinks who's just completely out of control. Unless it's like one of them who's like completely out of control, but you're still getting, a Vlad's. Like, unless you really, really, really need to break their silence, you get a Vlad's. That's it. Like, you're dead again here. Like, your farm is so bad.
I mean, you died a bunch, so like that's part of it. But as we discussed, your firing patterns are terrible. Basically, like even really crappy anti-mage games, it's not hard to get 10 creeps a minute in. Why am I? Oh, I was sorry. I was at X8 because I was trying to get past you respawning, and then I left it on while talking. Okay, you should pretty much always have a TP on you. You might have just used it to go somewhere. You TP back to fights while ratting. You don't. My dog just wants to come in so bad right now.
Enter.
I don't trust you in here, but you're so cute.
So the way you want to play anti-mage is you TP back to fights, particularly when you're behind. Like, what you want to do, the general play of anti-mage, and it's really hard to communicate in pubs, which is why he's not an excellent pub hero, but he can be okay, because if they don't have lockdown, like this team doesn't have, then you shouldn't be dying. What the fuck is this PA really going back for Battle Fury? That's terrible. So what AM does best is he makes teams make decisions. Like, you have to either commit on a fight that isn't necessarily how you want to take it. Like, maybe they're looking for a tiny initiation here, and if they don't find that tiny initiation, then it's more awkward for them to go in. I mean, they aren't tiny to combo down the Omni Knight. This Omni Knight got a Battle Fury, what a guy. I was like, maybe it's a Blade Mail, maybe it's a Blade Mail. It's not a Blade Mail. So weird. Everything's so weird. Anyway, so AM's about making them make inefficient decisions. So if you're split pushing down here, did you TP here? No, you just went down here. So if you have a TP here, you just keep pushing. If you see them creeping mid, you push fucking harder. Like, you don't even jungle this camp. You blink forward, you kill the creepy before your creep wave gets there, so they get even faster to the next tower. Like, you do everything you can to start putting pressure on the next tower. And maybe they're trying to siege outside of here, and you might get 1 tower, 2 towers, and then they jump in. You're able to TP after they initiate, so Tiny maybe blew through a good portion of his mana pool, maybe Clinks did, whatever. You're able to blink in, or sorry, TP in, blink Manta on someone, blow them up, maybe get a good mana void off. Like, that's how you play AM. Those are the heroic anti-mage moments that, like, show you're a good fucking player. Is your ability to, like, make those decisions, like, force them to have to act before they're ready. So here you're wasting time. Why are you not pushing this creep wave? Just sticking around. Here, you should see the... Okay, you see them there. You need to... See, like, you have 2 options there. Personally, I would have blinked forward more. I would have blinked forward, maybe ignored that creep wave because they were kind of close and went to the next creep waves. You could have blinked around and cut their creep wave here, which is high level. Like, that's a high level maneuver, so I don't necessarily expect you to know that, but, like, if you wanted to delay this fight, you'd blink forward when you saw them there with your ward, maybe farm that camp, farm that camp, farm that camp, get here to cut the creep wave. When you cut the creep wave, farm the ancients, cut the creep wave, or sorry, cut the creep wave, farm the ancients, farm the power camp, cut the creep wave again. Maybe blink over here and farm, try and get that creep wave if you can. Maybe farm these inside camps. And this is as long as you can keep an eye on them. Like, that's what you want to be doing. Not just like doing a Tour de France over here, just fucking running around the world. Like, what did you do? Hold on, I need to watch this on a normal speed. Okay, one, you ignore the tiny in fight. You have to ignore the tiny and the PA in fights unless they're like the last people alive. Because the tiny, you're just gonna self-stun. We got 2 invis people. Okay, you have... How did you die here? Weren't you just repelled? Am I crazy? Did I see that wrong? Team doesn't have vision. Oh, the Clinks lights you up. Do a crit now. Oh no, the PA critted you. Yeah, they still do really high physical damage. So, like, you can't take them. Like, if you had stats, maybe you could have lived there, or it would have given you the extra time necessary to blink out. Like, that's 200 health on the extra armor. you had Vlad's and stats, maybe you could have lived there, but like this is just, that's just a poor decision to try and fight there. Like get them to dive your, like you want to get them to dive your tower, like jump here, and this is where you TP in, you get a fight where they're pincer between 3 towers, and you're able to like pop your manta on someone who's in true sight. Like they had 2 you went on an invis person, and they just like ignored you, and just went invis and walked away. Which is just stupid. Like, this is you dying again. I don't think there's going to be much more worth watching. I don't want to make the video too long. It looks like you stopped. You either haven't leveled in a while or you stopped getting that in favor of stats. I'm not sure which. I could figure it out, but I'm pretty lazy. 18, this is 10. Get leveled. Yeah, so you got 1 more level in stats. See, like, here you're kind of doing it correctly. Blink away, you run now. See, this is great. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So you just drew 2 people there? Okay, you're supposed to do that without dying. But, like, the idea is good. It's kind of scary, because, like, you want to farm a lot, like I said. Like, these are the times where you have to be less efficient in favor of playing safer. Like, you escape from 2 people here. Trying to farm this game. I'll be honest, I would have farmed this game, too. That sucks. I think you waited too long to blink there. Like, you could. If you finish this camp, and I think you blink immediately that way and you live. Instead, you start walking. I don't know where you're walking to. Yeah, okay, so I wouldn't have died here. I would have farmed that camp, but I wouldn't have died. Because as soon as I finished farming that, I blinked this way towards my ancients. I farmed my ancients, farm the hard camp, go through here, and start pressuring this side of the map. Like, you shouldn't have died here again. That's so many deaths that we've counted that you shouldn't have had. Like, Anti-Mage is a hero who dying is like, any carry it's really bad to die on, but people who are so momentum driven, like Anti-Mage, it's like catastrophically worse to die on. I don't know how else to put that. It's just like really bad because like once you fall behind, it kind of hurts how much you can do everything else. Like they don't even have great ways to kill you. Gross. They don't even have great ways to kill you, but you're just so far behind that you're so squishy. Like if you had a heart, they really couldn't kill you. If you had a heart and an AC, they couldn't kill you or something like that. I don't know if AC is necessarily the item. I mean, no one else gets it. It might be okay. If they have MKBs. That was stupid to say. Ignore that. If you had like hard Vlads or something, it'd be so hard to kill. If you had hard Vlad's butterfly, oh, you'd be in great shape. But like it's like 37 minutes, and this is the point where anti-mages are supposed to be like 6 slotted in a decent game. But yeah, your movements have to be fast and concise isn't the right word. Your moves have to be like fast and precise, I should say. Like, you know where you're moving. You use the clock to determine your movements. Like, oh, the minute's about to end. I should prepare to rotate back through my woods. Oh, I've cleared out the whole woods and I've pushed this tower, and it's only 30 seconds in. Okay, I'm TPing to the other side of the map and pushing this out. Because my whole jungle and everything's farmed here, it's no longer safe to keep farming here. Or like, let's say you farm out your whole woods, you get over to here, and it's like 45 seconds. Cool, I can go farm this hard camp, or I can farm the ancients, and I can get back to here. Or maybe I can walk, let that respawn, farm it again, and then do that whole rotation again. Like, you have to look at things like that and figure it out. Like, what's the most efficient based off the time that you have left. And it takes a lot of games to figure that out. It takes a lot of games to figure that out, but like, you have to figure it out. Like, you haven't had an item, you haven't progressed in your items in so long. The fact that this game even goes on 20 more minutes is pretty crazy. Your teammates must be pretty farmed, huh? Are you getting out? This guy have a higher net worth than you? It's close. He's not close. Well, I guess you're all pretty close in net worth. But yeah, this is just. This is once they're gone, it's not worth continuing to chase. I guess the Tiny is dead, so like their huge source of a huge source of lockdown and control for them is gone. Like his ability to toss you farther, thus wasting one of your blanks is a pain in the ass. If he's a good Tiny.
Because he won't try and blink combo you. He'll blink avalanche and then toss you back. This is another thing, like here, if you had a Vlad's, you wouldn't need to like heal, but now you're scared. You're really getting a BKB now too? They don't have enough magic to justify a BKB, I'm gonna say this right now. This is fucking stupid. That is a stupid BKB purchase. Like, what do you need to BKB off? I guess if you BKB, they really have no stuns for you, right? Apart from when this guy eventually gets his basher. I guess we could say that, but it's still stupid. I'd rather have a heart. Like, if you choose between a BKB and a heart, the time you get a BKB is if they have, like, so much lockdown. Like, if they have, like, a lion, like a shadow shaman, and, like, a Sven, or something like that. And it's just like, oh, if I ever get caught, or if in these fights, if I jump in, I'm just gonna get controlled. Like, there was one game I saw Banana Slam Gemma playing where he was a Huskar, and they had like a Bane. Oh, maybe it was a Bane. It was one other hero. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Beastmaster, and they just nightmared him. They like beast ulted, nightmared him. So they nightmared, beast ulted, Bane ulted, nightmared him, and he just sat there doing nothing for 20 seconds. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. They did to him like 3 fights in a row. It was probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. It was really funny. But like, unless you're in a situation like that, like why are you getting a BKB? That's not even a good example. I guess the BKB would have accounted for 2 nightmares. But still. So they're throwing. Oh, you're the highest net worth in the game right now. That's so sad. You're so far behind too. Oh my god. I mean, I know you lose this game, but like I have hope. I have hope. Got hope. Did we just take a full Rex right now? What fucking world is this? It's a sad world at 1K MMR. Anyway, I don't want to beat up on you too much more. I mean, like, I've already mentioned like a ton of things that you can improve upon. I think Butterfly MKB is what you want after this. Okay, so just to surmise, we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna do a quick summary. It's gonna be 3 or 4 things that I need you to focus on. All right, 1. Creep aggro and practicing winning your lanes. Like you can do really hard 1v1s. Get one of your friends who are like 2K MMR, wherever you're at, and get one of them to 1v1 you. Clinkz versus Anti-Mage, and just practice controlling the creep wave, getting your creeps, and then when proper, like when you're not going to take too much creep damage, you blink forward on him and start trading auto attacks with him. Because like Ant hits really hard with his mana break, and then force him to go invis. And once he goes invis, you just walk away. Because like the more you force a Clinkz to use Skeleton Walk, the less arrows he's gonna have to harass with you, and like Clinkz does not have great base damage. Like a huge strength of Clinkz is the damage he gets from Searing Arrows. If you take that away in a lane, he doesn't hit very hard. The same can be said about Wind Ranger. Practice really difficult 1v1s. Wind Ranger and Clinkz are like a really good example of that. Kind of easier, but kind of harder. They're just different. Like a Tide or a Clock, you can have your friends play that too. Those are matchups that Anti-Mage can win, but require you to know how to control the creep wave to really dominate it. Like you should still win it anyway, but to really dominate the matchup, you need to be able to control creep equilibrium well. So practice creep equilibrium, practice your last hitting. Like those will go hand in hand. Stuff you can practice in a bot game, practice with your friends, whatever. Second, practice being efficient. Like if the lane's completely shot and like there's 2-3 people in lane, go farm the woods. Even if you just have a poor man shield, go farm in the woods. Do the poor man shield and some of your tangos left, do a pull, farm the pull. And then, like, if you, let's say it's like 3 minutes in, you're 3v1'd in a lane, pull your own creep wave, kill the creeps at the pull, then your creep wave will run back over here, meet their creeps at the tower, then you creep under the tower. Like, it's such simple things that'll get you, like, an extra, like, 5-8 creeps. Like, this is 3 creeps. Even if, let's say, you get 3 of the 5 creeps in that wave, that's an extra 6 creeps right there. It's like, I don't know, probably 250 gold. And once you have a Ring of Health and a Poor Man's Shield, you can use the jungle. And once you have treads, too, then you can jungle pretty efficiently. Like, I'll start getting 10, 12 creeps a minute without a Battle Fury on Anti-Mages. It's not very hard. You just have to understand the patterns. of like how to farm this, like boop. So you farm this camp, that camp, this camp, back to wave. And like when a lane's unsafe to go to, when like going to this lane's gonna have you just like sitting in a safe place when you could be farming the jungle fast, farm the jungle fast instead. Like anyone in this lane, if they're just in a, like a, if they're competent and they have 1 or 2 people in this wave and there's no one here, they're gonna push it to the tower. And then when they get to the tower, you're back over here and you farm the creeps at the tower and you make them do it again. They're not stopping you from farming. They have to push the creep wave to the tower, and when they push it to the tower, then you farm the creeps at the tower, and don't let your tower take unnecessary damage. It's super simple, but so effective, and you just have to do those things. And like you can, and including that jungle efficiency is like choke point jungling like this, like cutting this tree and fighting these one at a time. That's choke point jungling. You can do it here too, I think, by chopping that one. I think that's. There's a video, but it's super old, so I don't even know why I mention it. But anyway, an alternative to choke point jungling is you attack this camp, you just walk up to here, and then you fight the creeps right here. So every few seconds, I think it's like probably like 4 seconds, they try and like walk back. They try and start walking back to the camp, and when they try and walk back to the camp, you get free shots. And they usually just re-aggro and come back towards you. So they spend a lot of time walking back and forth instead of auto-attacking. That's going to let you jungle at a higher HP, so you're not super low when there's an invis person like a Clinkz or a Bounty Hunter. That's going to be really, really important when you're against heroes like Clinkz and Bounty Hunter, because it'll keep your HP high to where they can't just combo you. Like, if you're just fighting all these camp strip, you saw it. You were losing a lot of HP just by doing that. Even with a PMS, I don't think you had your treads in the time I'm referring to, and you're bringing health, you were still losing like a fair amount of HP. But if you improve your efficiency of clearing the camps in terms of like your HP used efficiency, then you'll remove that risk of these two just him just walking up and Janadaing you, or him just walking up and standing next to you and popping strafe. It's like that'll kill you, and those deaths are fucking annoying, but it's what you deserve. So that's 2 things. It's lane equilibrium, farming efficiency. Let's talk about dying unnecessarily. I pointed out a ton of times you died. Like, this dumb blink over here was really silly. This blink forward. When you're waiting to try and like jump this Clinkz, you need the tower to kill him, but you wait till the tower is dead, then jumped on him. He went invis, and then was like, oh wait, I can just kill this guy who made a dumb move, and then killed you. This death here was like a product of not moving quickly enough. Like, you had time to, you did something great. Like, I was complaining about it, and then you did it. You farmed this, you pushed all the way to this tower. I don't remember if you killed the tower or not. You forced 2 people to come to you. Fuck, I can't remember who they were. I know there's definitely, I think a Bounty Hunter was there. I don't remember who was there. I know 2 people responded. You blinked back to here, farmed this camp, and then walked this way when you knew they were here. So why are you walking that way? You just blink this way and farm that camp. If you want to be even safer, you can blink to the right and then farm that camp, or blink to the right and farm this camp and then rotate back through your woods. And that's just wasting the enemy's time. Like, that's one of AIM's huge strengths, is his ability to waste a team's time by chasing him around the map while your team gets to farm. Like, when you're better, what you can do is, like, once you have like your Vlads or your Manta or something, you sit on the enemy's side of the map, play safe, and farm this out. It's not the most efficient farming, but what it does is it opens up your whole woods for your team, and they either have to try and kill you or try and force to fight your team. But once again, that's kind of more advanced stuff. If you focus on the other 2 things I talked about, it's like it's as big as it comes to 2 things. It's learning to control your creep equilibrium, not dying unnecessarily, and learning to last hit, and then farming the jungle efficiency and not wasting time just standing places. Like, there's no worse hero to stand idly by on than an anti-mage. Also, always have a TP. You don't need a poor man shield, get a goddamn TP. TPs are so necessary. The fundamental playstyle, like I talked about, is split pushing. Particularly when they're pushing, you split and you rat even harder, and then you TP back for fights when they either respond with 1 or 2 people, or if they try and jump the gun and force a fight. So I hope this video helps. I didn't mean to be too harsh, but there's a lot of things you have to work on. Oh, another thing is skill build. Don't just level things for the sake of leveling, and particularly on anti-mage. Like, anti-mage is great.
but the burning build and more levels of stats would have done you very well this game. Not having the stats, like this being max is pointless, the PKB is pointless. Just getting a heart or a butterfly would have been way better. Okay, hope that helps. Feel free to send other videos, whatever. I'll try and show some more. I might record another AM farming tutorial in the future. Maybe I'll make one of me dealing with a hard lane or something. I'm really good at dealing with hard lanes. Honestly, it's fighting lanes that are more difficult for me, but I'm used to getting bodied in lane. But yeah, I'll figure out what the next video is going to be, and I might do it. Alright, best of luck. Hope this was illuminating.